Welcome to the deep dive. Look, we're not going to ease into this one. We're diving straight into what the data is calling basically an industrial revolution for fraud.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate description. Organized crime has grabbed AI and just run with it.
And the numbers are just staggering. I mean, the U.S. alone, looking at maybe $64 billion lost this year.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the most immediate step for you listening, 77% of Americans are apparently encountering some kind of scam attempt every single day.
That daily number really hits home, doesn't it? It shows this isn't some, niche tech problem anymore. It's everywhere.
Exactly.
So our mission here in this deep dive is really to give you the crucial intel. We've gone through a ton of source material, data from 8 big economies, US, UK, India, Brazil, Canada, South Africa, Australia, Singapore.
Yeah, right.
To pull out the patterns that everyone's facing, but also those specific regional threats you really need to know about.
And before we get into all that critical data, we absolutely have to thank the people who made this analysis possible. www.scamwatchhq.com.
Absolutely. They've done incredible work compiling this.
They really have, and they've actually just kickstarted a fantastic series over on their website. It's a global scam series for 2025, running during this October Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Yeah, it's worth checking out.
Definitely. If you want to dig deeper into any specific country report we touch on, the link to their series is right there in our description, so please check that out.
Okay, so 8 countries, all fighting sophisticated fraud. If you look across all that data, what's the single biggest, most universal change? Like, how are they doing it and who are they hitting?
There are 2 huge shifts, really. First, the complete weaponization of AI. It's changed the game. And second, a really surprising demographic shift in who the main victims are.
Okay, let's start with the AI. What does weaponization mean here?
Well, it means the advice we've been giving people for years. It's kind of obsolete now.
You mean like look for grammar mistakes,
Yeah.
that kind of thing? Exactly that. And beyond just text, think about deepfakes, sure, but also voice cloning. It's terrifyingly easy. You only need like 3 seconds of someone's voice.
3 seconds?
Just 3 seconds of audio scraped from somewhere, and suddenly you get a call from a family member in distress, sounding completely real.
That's chilling. But it's not just the tech, is it? It's how they're using it psychologically.
It's both, definitely. But the AI enables this incredible precision. It targets trust directly. But the maybe quieter revolution is what some are calling perfect phishing.
Perfect phishing.
Yeah, AI language models. They don't make grammar mistakes. They don't use awkward phrasing. They can craft these personalized, contextually perfect emails or messages, indistinguishable from the real thing.
So the red flags we used to rely on are just gone.
Pretty much. The emotional trigger is immediate, and that critical thinking moment, that pause, it just vanishes.
Which puts a huge burden back on, well, on you listening. You almost have to assume every unexpected message could be a perfect fake.
It's a tough reality.
Okay, let's pivot to that second shift you mentioned. The victim. We all have this image, right, that it's mostly older people getting scammed. But the data, it says something else entirely.
It really does. That stereotype, it's just been blown out of the water. Across these 8 major countries, it's overwhelmingly young adults, the 18 to 34 group, who are often getting hit the hardest financially.
Young adults, why them?
Well, they're prime targets for things like those complex crypto scams, fake investment opportunities promising quick, high returns, things advertised all over social media where they spend their time.
So it's not a lack of tech savviness.
No, not at all.
Oh.
The data suggests it's often more about maybe lacking a certain institutional skepticism, or maybe the financial literacy their parents picked up from years of, face-to-face banking. They live digitally, so the scams meet them there.
Do we have specific numbers on that from the sources?
Oh, absolutely. Look at Brazil, the 16 to 29 age group. They account for 27% of cases, the most affected group.
16 to 29.
Yeah. And you see similar peaks for financial losses among young adults in the US, UK, Canada. And maybe even more telling, Australia. Get this, 61% of convicted money mules.
The people moving the stolen money.
Exactly. 61% of them are under 30. Often young people, maybe financially stressed, looking for quick cash. They get recruited on platforms like Telegram, Discord, to basically launder money for these international crime rings.
Wow. Okay, so we've got AI making scams perfect and younger people often bearing the financial brunt. Let's talk about the mechanics. How does the speed of modern money, instant payments, play into this?
Oh, it's central. They exploit the speed itself. We call it the instant payment paradox.
Paradox, how so?
Because these systems, India's UPI, Brazil's PIX, Interac in Canada, Zelle or Venmo in the US, faster payments in the UK, they're incredibly convenient, right? That's the point.
Yeah.
But that instantaneous nature, that's a vulnerability.
No, the speed is the weapon.
Fundamentally, yes.
Yeah.
But it's more psychological than technical, really. The paradox isn't the tech itself. It's that humans, well, we tend to panic under pressure. Instant payments remove that vital cooling off period you used to get with, say, a wire transfer.
Right. You had time to think, maybe call the bank?
Exactly. Now the payment's gone.
Yeah.
Instantly. Irreversibly. And the criminals vanish. This is huge in places like Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil's PIX system is massive, isn't it? Like 80% of banking is digital there, highest in the world. How has that instant transfer system become such a focus for scams?
Well, the adoption rate is phenomenal, a real success story. But the flip side is severe vulnerability. We're talking $2.7 billion lost just to PIX-related scams. That's a 43% jump.
2.7 billion reais.
And the data shows 70% of that comes from what they call PIX social engineering. You know, the scammer creates urgency, fake overdue bill, family emergency, and the victim just sends the PIX instantly.
Is anything being done there?
Yeah, the central bank is trying. They have this special return mechanism, MED, and they're promising real-time scam alerts during the transaction. Those should start rolling out sometime in 2025.
So fighting speed with speed, but then you look at India. That situation seems even more directly tied to like large-scale international crime, this digital arrest scam.
Oh, the digital arrest scam is just brutal. It's pure impersonation. Victims get calls from fake police, fake CBI officials.
FBI, like they're FBI.
Exactly, telling them they face immediate arrest unless they transfer money right now. And the losses are, well, catastrophic. 1,000 crore.
How much is that?
It's over 120 million US dollars per month, just in the first half of 2025.
A month. That's insane.
It is. And here's the really chilling part, linking back to international networks. Over half of these massive frauds trace back to sophisticated scam compounds, mainly in Southeast Asia.
Places like Cambodia, Laos.
Yeah. And these places are notorious for using trafficked workers, people literally forced into running these scams.
So it confirms it, doesn't it? These aren't lone wolves. These are global syndicates, Southeast Asia or West Africa, Eastern Europe, all coordinated, using instant payments, using mule accounts, moving money across borders in seconds.
It makes fighting it locally incredibly difficult. It's a global problem demanding a global response.
Okay, let's zoom in again on some specific regions from the sources, because the way criminals adapt locally is, well, it's revealing. Canada, for example. Huge financial losses, yes, but also a weird spike in, like, physical goods fraud.
Yeah, Canada lost $342 million first half of 2025. Impersonation fraud shot up 356%, massive jump. But their unique twist seems to involve physical stuff, probably linked to high vehicle values there. Car theft is way up, and this thing called revining.
Revining.
Yeah, altering the vehicle identification numbers on stolen cars. That's up 58%. So they're stealing cars, changing the IDs, and either selling them whole or breaking them down for parts. They're turning digital fraud into physical assets.
Interesting. Contrast that with South Africa. They're dealing with our $2.2 billion in annual losses, but the sources highlight really deep digital identity issues, right? Like SIM swaps.
Exactly. SIM swap scams are a huge problem there. Plus, a scary 153% increase in synthetic identity fraud, creating fake identities from scratch. And the sources emphasize, around 30% of all crime in Western and Eastern Africa is now classified as cybercrime. It's a major part of the criminal landscape.
And then there's the UK, which is actually a fascinating case study in how criminals adapt when you do put defenses in place.
Yeah, the UK is interesting. They brought in mandatory reimbursement rules for what's called Authorized Push Payment fraud, APP fraud. That's where you are tricked into sending the money yourself.
And did it work?
Kind of. It actually reduced those specific APP losses by 2%, which sounds small, but it's significant progress.
But the criminals didn't just, give up, did they? The sources show they pivoted.
Instantly. They just shifted focus to less regulated areas. So boom, a 22% surge in remote purchase fraud, paying for goods online that never show up. And they were quick to jump on new things too, like quishing.
Quishing, like QR codes.
Exactly. Sticking fake QR codes on parking meters, restaurant tables, fake bills, trying to get you to scan them and steal your banking details. It shows incredible adaptability. The moment you close one door, they're already climbing through a window.
So taking all this in 8 countries, all these different tactics, What are the absolute top, say, 3 universal scam types we all need to be watching out for right now?
Okay, yeah. Consistent across all the sources, the big three remain. Number one, investment in cryptocurrency scams, always promising huge returns very quickly.
Right.
Number two, impersonation. Whether it's pretending to be the government, your bank, a business, or even family, the grandparent scam, voice cloning falls here too. And number three is just general phishing and social engineering. Basically, any trick designed to manipulate you, create urgency, and get you to click a link, give up info, or send money. Those are the constants. Okay, so that's the bad news. But let's shift gears, because governments, banks, tech companies, they are fighting back. We need to talk about what's actually working. The legislative stuff, the tech defenses.
Yeah, let's spend some time on the defense. Those legislative wins you mentioned, how are they really designed to work? Is it about putting pressure on the banks and institutions, not just us individuals?
That's a big part of it, yeah.
Hmm.
Take the UK's mandatory reimbursement rule again. By making banks potentially liable to pay back victims of APP fraud, well, suddenly the banks have a very strong financial incentive, right?
Right, it hits their bottom line.
Exactly. So now they're motivated to invest heavily in better detection before the transaction happens, better warning systems, instead of just saying, oh, well, the customer clicks send.
That makes sense. What about rules that try to stop the money moving in the first place?
We're seeing that too, especially in Asia Pacific. Australia and Singapore, they both brought in a Protection from Scams Act. And a key part of that is allowing financial institutions to slap restriction orders on suspicious transactions or freeze mule accounts much, much faster. Almost instantly sometimes.
Cutting off the escape route.
Pretty much. And in the U.S., you've got the FTC stepping in. They brought in a rule, August 2024, I think, banning fake testimonials. That hits right at the heart of how a lot of these fake investment schemes build false credibility.
Okay, so policy is one angle, but the scams are using sophisticated AI. How is tech fighting back against that?
Well, tech is fighting fire with fire, mostly through better and faster intelligence sharing. Look at Australia's project ASTRO.
ASTRO.
Yeah, it's basically a real-time intel sharing platform between banks and authorities.
Yeah.
They estimate it prevented something like $145 million in losses just by sharing fraud data immediately.
Wow.
And then you have things aimed more at us, the users. Services like MoneyLock, which different banks offer under different names. They let you temporarily lock down large transfers or international payments, giving you control. That's apparently protected around $30 billion globally.
So adding friction back into the system.
Exactly. Even the app stores are trying. Google Play says its enhanced fraud protection blocked almost 2.5 million malicious apps last year trying to steal logins or money.
And what about those scam compounds overseas, the ones running the digital arrest scams from Southeast Asia? Tech and policy in one country can't stop that, surely.
No, you're absolutely right. That requires international coordination. And the sources show that is happening, though it's tough. India's I4C, that's their Cybercrime Coordination Center, is working really closely with other countries.
Okay.
And in Africa, you had Operation Serengeti 2.0, specifically targeting cybercrime rings, which led to over 1,200 arrests across multiple countries. It proves you can disrupt these networks, but it takes massive coordinated effort. You can't fight a borderless enemy with border-based defenses alone.
Which brings it all back to, well, back to you listening. If AI is making the old red flags obsolete, what are the new signs? The behavioral things we still need to trust?
Yeah, good question. We need to focus on the tactics the scammers rely on, the universal triggers. So first, unexpected contact. Full stop. If your bank, the tax office, the police, Amazon, whoever, if they contact you out of the blue about a problem you didn't know existed, demanding immediate action, assume it's fake. Hang up. Delete the email.
Okay, unexpected contact. What else?
Second, urgency or pressure.
Yeah.
This is their bread and butter.
Uh-huh.
Act now or lose this amazing opportunity. You must transfer the funds in the next 5 minutes or face consequences. They manufacture panic to stop you thinking clearly. Real organizations don't operate like that.
Right. Slow down. That seems key.
Absolutely. And the third one is usually the payment method itself. That's often the biggest giveaway. Third, unusual payment methods. Legitimate companies, government agencies, they will never demand payment via gift cards, ever, or tell you to buy cryptocurrency and send it to them, or wire money to some random safe account. Those methods are chosen purely for speed, anonymity, and because they're virtually irreversible.
So gift cards, crypto, urgent wire transfers is huge red flag.
Massive red flag.
Okay, if there's just one single piece of advice people take away from this deep dive today, what should it be? the absolute golden rule.
It's simple, but it's crucial. The golden rule is verify independently. Always. Get a weird text from your bank. Don't click the link. Get a call from the utility company threatening shutoff. Hang up. Then go find the official phone number or website yourself from a bill from a Google search you trust and contact them directly. Never use the number or link the potential scammer gave you.
Verify independently. Got it.
And please, finalize your basic digital defenses. The little bit of effort now saves so much potential pain later. Turn on two-factor authentication, 2FA, everywhere you can. Bank accounts, email, major social media, everywhere.
It adds that extra layer.
It really does. And use a password manager. Let it create strong, unique passwords for every single site. Don't reuse passwords. These two things alone make you a much, much harder target.
Okay, solid advice.
So, what does this all mean at the end of the day? It really is what you said at the start, an arms race. That's the battle in 2025. You've got these organized crime networks supercharged by AI, constantly finding new ways to exploit us.
And on the other side?
On the other side, you've got policymakers trying to force responsibility, tech companies building defenses, and international cops trying to coordinate. It's human ingenuity versus human ingenuity. Just one side has easily accessible AI now.
Which leaves us maybe with a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on after this. Given this global scale of organized crime, the way they use instant, often anonymous or pseudonymous tools like crypto, is our current system, the sort of patchwork of national laws and different tech defenses in each country, is it really enough? Is it capable of truly regulating criminal networks that operate completely without borders?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? It's what every government, every bank is grappling with right now.
Indeed. And if you want to keep grappling with it, stay informed and review the full source material that powered our discussion today. We have to give one more huge thank you to ScamWatch HQ.
Hear, hear.
Remember, they've just launched that brilliant global scam series for October's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. You can find all the detailed country reports and ongoing updates over at www.scamwatchhq.com. As we said, the link is right there in the description. Please check it out, stay safe out there, and stay skeptical.